Fear the power you do not see. I owe you a debt. You've exceeded my expectations. Do not try my patience. Empire above all.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I will show you how to play Swain. For the ability sequence, you want to max out Q and W first for the damage and wave clear, and then E last because the cooldown stays the same at all ranks. Swain's ultimate is what allows him to be such a menace in teamfights, so always put points into this whenever possible. We will be starting out with the E level 1 guys, even though it is the ability that we max out last, and that is because it has a root to it, so we will be able to proc our passive. So whenever an enemy champion is immobilized either by you or your allies, then you'll be able to right click them and drag them a short distance towards you, and you will also rip out a soul fragment. Now these soul fragments will heal you, and you will also get some permanent bonus maximum health. Of course, when you rip them out, then they will also deal some damage to the enemy champion. It's very important that you try to stack this up so you can become as tanky as possible in the later stages of the game. Of course, it's very easy to hit your E if you do it at the very edge of it, and try to use it when the enemy champion is about to last hit the minions. Your W is a super long range slow that will deal damage and also reveal the enemy champion, so you can use this to check brushes. You can also use it across the map once you have enough points into it, because at maximum points it's going to cover more than half the map. So it has such an insane range. Usually because it has such a big delay as well, what you want to do is that you try to combo it with your E and your passive, so use it while you are going to drag them back with your passive, so you guarantee a hit with it. And of course your W also gives you a soul fragment whenever you hit enemy champions with it, so that's also another way of stacking that passive up. Your Q, guys, is the main ability that you use to push out waves with, and your main damage as well. It is going to deal more damage if you hit multiple bolts, so when you try to push out waves, then try to hit the entire wave with your Q. And Swain is the champion that scales super well into the mid game, so once you have your mythic item and the Sonya's Hourglass, that's when you really start popping off, so you want to get to that stage as soon as possible. Do not be contesting that skull crab, because I reset, I got a kill and then I had to reset, so now he's going to be 1 versus 2, so that's a big mistake by his side, but it does happen. It is solo queue, so it is uncoordinated, so people will end up doing this all the time. Just don't focus on that too much. Just try to focus on your own gameplay, try to get yourself ahead. Like a really easy trading combo, guys. Use your E first and then your W, and then pull the enemy champion towards you so your W hits. That way you get an entire combo off, and it's going to deal a lot of damage. And of course, you can proc Conqueror really fast with Swain. That's why I really like to use this keystone on mid lane Swain, but if you play him support, then you can also use Electrocute or Dark Harvest, because then you are playing a more poke oriented playstyle. But Conqueror scales the best for sure. It really makes him a much bigger threat in teamfights. The entire objective in the lane phase, guys, is just to last hit as much as you can, and then whenever your E is up, then you try to look for that route so you can proc your passive and land an entire combo. Just like that, we have our ultimate up now, so that is what makes Swain a drain tank. You're going to pretty much lifesteal off of nearby targets, and then you can pop that ultimate once again. You can recast it if you want to, or you can just let it run out. It's going to deal more damage based on how much you drained. So in team fights you don't want to pop this early on unless you can guarantee that you get the kills, because this ultimate is what allows you to be so strong in team fights, because it is AoE and it helps with that Conqueror as well. That W has such a massive range, so you can use that to poke with, but more importantly, guys, if you see somebody escaping, then you can place this W ahead of them, so you kind of zone them off. That way you can delay them a bit, or you can even make sure that they actually get caught because of the slow. So it has many uses and it is super fun to use, because you can also just be annoying and then try to cancel recalls across the map, so you mess up the base timers. But yeah, it is very easy to push out the waves, guys, as you can see. 2 or 3 Qs is enough to push out the entire wave, so that makes Swain actually a pretty good pick in the mid lane. He's mostly played as support, but he's actually very good mid lane as well. When you try to all-in champions with your ultimate, just make sure that their movement abilities are on cooldown, and the flash as well, because you are immobile on this champion, so you will have a very hard time chasing people. So you want to make sure that you can get on top of people, so you can get that ultimate going, start draining them and deal that burst damage as well at the end. But our main goal here, so of course I got the Seeker's Anger because I'm against an assassin, AD assassin mid. That's something you should be doing as well, because it counters their burst damage. If you're against the mage mid, then you can just go for the Lost Chapter and build that into the Lion's Anguish, and then you get the Sonny's Hourglass second. The build path I'm using is I just like to get the Seeker's Anger first, and then I get the Lion's Anguish, and then the Sonny's Hourglass afterwards. I like the core items of Swain, because Sonny's Hourglass really buys yourself some time, because your ultimate is still active while you use it, so you'll keep draining people nearby while you are untargetable. So it is super important that you have these two items, and once you have, that's when you start wrecking everyone. I don't have much mana this fight here, so can't really do much honestly, but since Set went down, then now is a good time to contest. Want to make sure that we have at least enough mana for our ultimate. That's going to allow us to tank some of the damage as well, because we become this drain tank. You are this kind of frontliner when you play Swain, guys. Of course I can't really do that right now because I don't have any mana left. I have enough for 1 E. Right click, and we got the shutdown as well, so that is great. So that's going to speed up our scaling quite a bit. We are going to outscale this set really hard. Just gotta back off here. We have a lot of gold as well, so definitely also want to look for a base. Have to push out this way and then we can go ahead and recall. If you can consistently land these combos here, guys, then the lane is going to be so easy because you have so much damage and you stack up the Conqueror really fast as well, so it is super difficult for anyone to contest that. So your success really lies around landing those E's. If you can do that, then you're going to have a really good time on this champion. But his roams aren't the best, mainly because he is immobile, so something like assassins, AD assassins, they can easily just leave the lane and try to be as annoying as possible in the silence. You can't do much about that. You can try to help them with cross map W's, but that's pretty much all you can do. Because your goal is to get to the point where you can just destroy everyone, so that is your 2-item power spike excluding boots, so your Linder's Anguish and Sonya's Hourglass. Once you have those, then you're going to destroy people. Once at that point you can't do much across the map, so just focus on farming, pushing out the waves. If you see somebody roaming from your lane, just push out as fast as you can and try to get the tower plates. One plate, 160 gold, a bit more gold than half a kill, so that's actually super worth it, especially when you consider that you will also be getting the XP from the minions. Bot lane is getting destroyed quite a bit. You will not be able to land the W because it has a delay to it, so very hard to land it unless the enemy champion is slowed or immobilized somehow. That was a pretty good W, we hit that one. We just got a roam bot right now. We do have our summoners up and our ultimate, so this could be a triple kill. Flash in here so we can get the others as well. Make sure that they don't get away, because of course our ultimate is AoE, so it is going to hit multiple people at once. Yeah, 31 stacks on our passive right now, 32 now. We are becoming tankier because we get permanent maximum health as well. But it is going to help us a lot when it comes to the scaling, the late game scaling. You have this kind of drain tank role where you want to be the front line with another person who can engage with you, so the Nasus. Just going to be as annoying as possible in the front line and try to tank as many people as you can while also draining them with your ultimate. You want to try to make sure that they stay within your ultimate range until you pop it, so they also get hit by that massive burst damage. We have a lot of gold, so we definitely want to recall here, so we almost have 3k gold, so we'll be able to get our first core item, Linder's Anguish, because it helps a lot in extended fights, and that is what Swain basically wants to do. Normally at this point, guys, I would be purchasing boots, but since I already have enough gold for the Sonya's Hourglass, then I might as well get it, because it is going to save me from all of the burst damage, and it also allows me to tank for my team, really soak up all the damage while I also sustain myself. Also, if you're wondering why I have sorcery secondary instead of domination, which a lot of people like to use, it is because Rammus Hunter is getting nerfed a lot, and Swain also has some mana issues. So we have Mana Flow Band and Transcendence, which I believe is the best right now, because it solves your mana issues and also puts your abilities on a lower cooldown so you can use them more often. Because late game your Q is going to be on less than 3-second cooldown, so you can spam that in fights. Zed is not able to do anything in this lane anymore because Sonya's Hourglass counters his ult completely, and we also have that armor from the Seeker Sun God, so we are way too tanky for him right now, so he will not be able to do anything. We can even look for those 1 versus 2s. Because remember that Sonya's Hourglass does not cancel your ultimate. So you can have that activated in team fights and then pop that Hourglass so you can deny all the burst while you continue to drain people. That's why it's a core item on him, and that means that you will be purchasing this every single game. Bit unfortunate Tristana got away here, but got the shot down, so we are just scaling up here, guys. Oh, she did not respect the W damage, because you max that second and it scales better than your E as well. It deals more damage, guys. The only problem is that it is difficult to hit unless the enemy champion is CC'd. So there is that, but most of the time if you combo properly then you should be able to get a hit. We are basing with a lot of gold because we are getting so many kills across the map, so that is great here, guys, so we can keep scaling up really fast and nicely. So I have not shown the Magi Soul Stealer in the intro screen, and that is because this is super situational. That means that on your first recall you can get the Dark Seal, and if you get a lot of stacks then of course you can upgrade it to the Magi's. So if you are fed like I am right now then you can get it. Otherwise you just proceed with a normal build. Demonic Embrace is not the best item right now, but it is pretty decent on Swain because it makes him tankier in fights and you also deal more damage, but they don't really have any tanks in this game here, and it is an item meant built against tanks, so we're just gonna ignore that item this game here. And this right here is why Sonya's Hourglass is so good in Swain. It saved me and allowed me to tank all of the damage, so they don't have anything left for the rest of my team. But yeah, just skip Demonic Embrace if they don't have any tanks at all, because there's no point in building it. Then you can just go Glass Cannon build, but you get the Rabadon stats cap if you have enough AP, and if they're building MR then you can also get the Void Staff. Legendary status, we can just keep pushing it here, get the wave as well. Nobody will be able to fight us. Even if I wasn't fit, guys, as soon as you have these core items, the Lionel's Anguish and the Sonya's Hourglass, then you will be able to fight people easily. You are so tanky, you have so much to stand, you have so much damage as well. Normally people at that stage of the game will not be able to do anything. And remember, Swain is not a split pusher. You can beat it in the side lane, guys. It's better if you have teleport. I like to use Ignite on Swain so I have some kill pressure in the lane as well. That is what allowed me to get the first kill, because if I didn't have Ignite this game then Zed would have escaped. So you can use teleport is very popular on Swain. You can also use Ignite. It's a preference thing, but if you have teleport then you can be in the side lane more often, because if your team gets caught then you have the teleport to help them out. The dragon is spawning soon here, so we need to prepare it. Got a really nice 2-man route into the passive. So yes, of course, if you hit multiple people with that E, then you can drag them in. That is usually going to end up in a guaranteed one fight. Kind of wasted his ultimate right there, but I have a 4-level lead over him. And when Swain gets ahead, then there is no counterplay. Because even if you use everything on him, he's just going to heal it back up, push you down at the same time. Yeah, he's very fun to play. Especially that passive and the super long range W, so you can try to be as annoying as possible. Teamfights guys, that W you can use it to cut off escape paths. That's very important that you try to use it like that, so when you see somebody running, then remember to try to place it ahead of them so they have to walk around, and that is going to lose them some time. That could result in your team catching up or you catching up, so there are a lot of ways you can use that W. And remember, since you max it second, then it also has a lot of damage, so don't just have it up in fights and think that it's going to be useless, because it does have a crazy amount of damage. We do have a really nice scaling team. We have a scaling ADC, scaling mid and scaling top as well, so if we win early game, then it is pretty much over. And as I said early on, no point getting Demonic Embrace this game because they don't have any tanks, so I don't really need that. That I value lots of AP, and Rabadon's Death Cap is what's going to give me that. We can just go mid. Baron is also an option. Don't really need Baron if we can just break open the base without it, so get the inhibitor here. Oh, the tower is focusing me. That's a problem with the Lion Sanguis, because whoever you hit with abilities will constantly have this burning thing because the Lion Sanguis, so the tower will focus you down. We're just picking up kills. It is very snowbally this season, guys. Whoever gets the lead in my games usually end up winning. There's not much comeback, but it is what it is. But that was basically the Swain guide, so I hope this was helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one.